Have you ever held a coin in your hand and wondered about the stories it could tell? These small, round pieces of metal are so much more than just money. They are tiny time capsules carrying messages from the past directly into our hands. In the lands we now call Turkey, this is especially true. The history of this region is rich, complex, and absolutely fascinating, and its coins are like a guidebook through the ages. Each one is a miniature work of art and a historical document revealing who was in power, what they believed, and what they valued. They show us the rise and fall of great empires, the evolution of art and language, and the incredible journey of a nation. Think of a coin not just as something to spend, but as a stamp of authority. When a ruler minted a coin, they were making a powerful statement. They were saying, "This is my land, this is my law, and this is my image." For thousands of years, from the ancient kings of Lydia to the sultans of the Ottoman Empire and the leaders of the modern Republic of Turkey, coins have been used to project power and identity. They connect us to the people who made them, spent them, and saved them. Holding one is like shaking hands with history itself, a tangible link to a world that has long since vanished, but left these beautiful metallic echoes behind for us to discover. The journey of Turkish coins is a truly epic tale. It begins in Anatolia, the cradle of coinage, where the very first coins in the world were created. From there, the story winds through the centuries, reflecting the diverse cultures that have called this land home. We see the influence of the Seljuk Turks, who brought their own unique artistic styles and inscriptions. Then comes the mighty Ottoman Empire, whose currency system grew and changed over 600 years of rule. Finally, we arrive in the modern era, with the establishment of the Republic of Turkey, where coins were transformed once again to represent a new national identity, full of hope and forward-looking vision. So, let's embark on this incredible journey together. We will travel back in time to uncover the secrets held within these precious metal discs. We will explore the bustling markets of ancient Lydia, the grand courts of the Seljuk and Ottoman rulers, and the modern mints of the Turkish Republic. Each coin we examine will be a clue, helping us piece together the grand and colorful puzzle of Turkish history. It's a story of innovation, power, art, and identity, all told through the humble yet extraordinary medium of the coin. Prepare to be amazed by how much these small objects can reveal about a civilization's soul. Our story begins in a place of incredible innovation, the ancient kingdom of Lydia, located in what is now Western Turkey. Around 2,700 years ago, in the 7th century BC, the Lydians had a brilliant idea that would change the world forever. Before this time, trade was a complicated affair. People used a system of barter, trading goods for other goods, or they used chunks of precious metal like gold and silver. The problem was that you always had to weigh the metal to know its exact value, which was slow and often inaccurate. The Lydians came up with a simple yet revolutionary solution. They decided to create standardized pieces of metal with a guaranteed weight and purity. These first coins were made from a naturally occurring alloy of gold and silver called electrum, which was plentiful in the rivers of their kingdom, like the famous Pactolus River. These early coins were quite simple in design, often looking like small lumpy beans of metal. To mark them as official, the Lydians stamped them with a seal. The very first designs were not of kings or gods, but were often just simple geometric patterns or punches. Soon after, they began stamping them with symbols of power, most famously the head of a roaring lion, a symbol of the Lydian royal family. This was a guarantee from the king himself that the coin was worth its stated value. The Lydian invention was a massive success and quickly spread across the ancient world. Other kingdoms, like the neighboring Greek city-states, saw the benefits of this new technology and began minting their own coins. The idea of a standardized currency made trade faster, easier, and more reliable. A merchant no longer had to carry scales to weigh gold dust. They could simply count the coins. This spurred economic growth, facilitated the payment of soldiers and taxes, and fundamentally changed how societies were organized. It was a true economic revolution, and it all started right here, in the heart of Anatolia. King Croesus, the last and most famous king of Lydia, who ruled in the 6th century BC, took this innovation a step further. He is credited with being the first to issue separate coins of pure gold and pure silver, creating a bimetallic standard of currency. This made the system even more sophisticated, allowing for coins of different values for different types of transactions. The legacy of Lydia is immense. They didn't just invent a new form of money, they created a system of trust and authority that has remained the foundation of our economic world to this day. Every time we use a coin, we are participating in a tradition that began in ancient Turkey all those centuries ago. Centuries passed, and Anatolia saw the rise and fall of many empires. Around the 11th century AD, a new power emerged, the Seljuk Turks. They swept in from Central Asia, bringing with them their own culture, religion, and traditions. As they established their authority, they too used coinage to declare their sovereignty and spread their influence. The Seljuk coins mark a distinct and fascinating chapter in the monetary history of the region. They were different from the Greek and Roman coins that had dominated for so long, introducing new styles, new languages, and new messages that reflected their Islamic faith and Turco-Persian cultural heritage. The primary coins of the Seljuk Sultanate of Rum, the state they founded in Anatolia, were the silver dirham and the gold dinar. Copper coins, known as fals, were also minted for smaller everyday transactions. The metal for these coins was sourced from mines within their territories, and the quality was generally very high, especially for the silver dirhams, which became a trusted currency for trade throughout the Near East. Unlike the earlier coins that often featured portraits of rulers, Seljuk coins followed Islamic tradition, which generally discouraged the depiction of human figures. Instead, their coins were covered in beautiful and intricate Arabic calligraphy. The inscriptions on Seljuk coins were incredibly detailed and served several purposes. They typically included the name of the ruling sultan, his titles, and the date and location of the mint where the coin was made. This information is a goldmine for historians, allowing them to track the reigns of different rulers and the extent of their territory. Crucially, the coins also featured religious inscriptions, such as declarations of faith from the Quran. By stamping these sacred words onto their money, the Seljuks were constantly reinforcing their identity as devout Muslim rulers and spreading the message of Islam with every transaction that took place in their realm. However, the Seljuks did not completely abandon imagery. Some of their coins are famous for their unique and beautiful symbolic designs. One of the most iconic is the lion and sun motif, an ancient symbol of royalty and power with roots in Persian astrology. Other coins featured horsemen, archers, or stars and other celestial symbols. These images were not meant to be portraits but were powerful symbols representing strength, sovereignty, and fortune. This blend of elegant calligraphy and powerful symbolism makes Seljuk coinage a truly unique and artistically rich field, offering a beautiful glimpse into the soul of this medieval Turkish empire. Following the decline of the Seljuks, a new Turkish power rose to dominate the region, the Ottomans. Their empire would last for over 600 years, and its monetary system evolved dramatically over this long period. The story of Ottoman coinage begins in the early 14th century with their first sultan, Osman I. The very first Ottoman coin was a small, humble silver coin called the Akçe. This coin would become the backbone of the Ottoman economy for centuries. It was a symbol of the new empire's growing power and independence. The name Akçe comes from the Turkish word ak, meaning white, a reference to its silver content. For hundreds of years, the Akçe was the standard unit of account. All prices, taxes, and salaries were calculated in akçe. Alongside the silver Akçe, the Ottomans also minted copper coins called manghir for small, everyday purchases in the marketplace. These were the coins of the people, used to buy bread, vegetables, and other daily necessities. The value of the manghir could fluctuate, but the Akçe remained the stable silver standard. However, as the empire grew richer and more powerful, it also faced economic challenges. Over time, the amount of silver in the AKC began to decrease due to inflation and the high cost of military campaigns. This process, known as debasement, meant that the coins became less valuable. By the 17th century, the constant debasement of the Akçe had created a need for a larger and more stable silver coin. This led to the introduction of the kurus, which was inspired by large European silver coins like the thaler. The kurus was initially worth 40 Akçe, but this relationship also changed over time with ongoing inflation. The introduction of the kurus marked a significant shift in the Ottoman monetary system, reflecting the empire's increasing interaction and competition with European economies. For a long time, the Ottoman system was a complex mix of these three coins: the gold sultani for large transactions, the silver kurus as the main standard, and the copper manghir for daily use. The designs on Ottoman coins followed the Islamic tradition established by the Seljuks. They avoided portraits of the sultans for most of their history. Instead, the coins were beautifully decorated with the sultan's tugra, a magnificent and highly stylized calligraphic signature. The tugra was a unique emblem for each sultan and served as the ultimate stamp of imperial authority. The coins also included the sultan's name, his titles, the mint location, and the year of his accession to the throne. These coins were not just money, they were miniature declarations of the sultan's absolute power and the grandeur of his empire, circulating from the Balkans to Arabia. By the mid-19th century, the Ottoman Empire was facing immense pressure, both politically and economically. The old monetary system, with its fluctuating values and debased coins, was becoming increasingly chaotic and difficult to manage in a rapidly modernizing world. The empire needed a stable, reliable, and modern currency to facilitate international trade and restore confidence in its economy. This led to a major monetary reform in 1844 under Sultan Abdülmecid I. The reform was a bold step towards modernization, and its centerpiece was the introduction of a brand new unit of currency, the Ottoman Lira. The new Ottoman Lira was a large gold coin, and it was established as the top of a new decimal-based system. This was a revolutionary change from the old complex relationships between the Akçe, para, and kurus. Under the new system, 1 gold lira was equal to 100 kurus, and 1 kurus was equal to 40 para. This created a clear and straightforward structure that was much easier for people and businesses to use. The introduction of the lira was a clear statement that the Ottoman Empire was determined to reform and align itself with the economic standards of the major European powers of the day. The design of the new coins also reflected this spirit of modernization. While the tugra of the Sultan remained a prominent feature symbolizing continuity in the Sultan's authority, the overall style became more uniform and standardized, similar to European coinage. The inscriptions were still in Arabic script, but they were arranged in a neat and orderly fashion, clearly stating the coin's value, the mint, and the date. This move towards a standardized design across all denominations, from the small copper para to the magnificent gold lira, helped to create a sense of unity and order in the empire's currency. It was a visual representation of the wider political reforms known as the Tanzimat. The introduction of the Ottoman lira was a pivotal moment. It stabilized the currency, simplified commerce, and was a crucial part of the empire's efforts to centralize its administration and modernize its state apparatus. Although the empire continued to face economic difficulties, the lira system provided a much-needed foundation of stability that lasted until the very end of the empire. It built a bridge between the old Ottoman monetary world and the new financial systems of the industrial age. This gold lira and its decimal system laid the essential groundwork for the currency that would eventually be used by the future Republic of Turkey. The end of World War I brought the collapse of the Ottoman Empire and, well, the birth of a new nation. In 1923, under the leadership of Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, the Republic of Turkey was founded. This was a period of profound and rapid change, as the new republic sought to build a modern, secular, and Western-oriented nation-state. Every aspect of society was transformed, from the legal system to education, and the nation's currency was no exception. The coins of the new republic had to reflect this new identity, breaking from the imperial past and embracing a new future. One of the most significant and visible changes was the script. For centuries, Ottoman coins had featured the beautiful Arabic script. However, as part of his sweeping reforms, Ataturk introduced a new Turkish alphabet based on Latin letters in 1928. This monumental change was quickly reflected on the nation's currency. Starting in 1934, all new coins and banknotes were minted with the Latin script. The phrase Türkiye Cumhuriyeti, meaning Republic of Turkey, appeared for the first time. This was a powerful symbol of the nation's new direction, making the currency accessible and visibly aligning Turkey with the West. Another major departure from Ottoman tradition was the introduction of portraits on coins. Following the practice of many other republics, Turkey began to feature images of national importance. The first coins of the republic featured symbolic motifs representing Turkish strength in agriculture, like a farmer with oxen. However, after his death, the portrait of Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, the revered founder of the nation, began to appear on the currency. His image became a constant and unifying symbol on Turkish coins and banknotes, representing the principles of the Republic and honoring his legacy as the father of the Turks. The metals used for coinage also changed to reflect the economic realities and technological advancements of the 20th century. While early Republican coins were still made of silver and bronze alloys, global economic pressures, especially after World War II, led to changes. Precious metals were gradually phased out of circulating coinage in favor of more practical and less expensive alloys like nickel, copper nickel, and aluminum. The denominations were also adjusted over the years to keep pace with inflation, which would become a significant economic challenge for the country in the latter half of the century. These new coins were for a new era designed for a modern industrial economy. The second half of the 20th century was a period of economic turbulence for Turkey, marked by high and chronic inflation. By the early 2000s, the Turkish lira had lost so much of its value that people were carrying around millions and even billions of lira for everyday transactions. Prices had an absurd number of zeros, which was, honestly, impractical and damaging to the country's economic credibility. In response, the Turkish government undertook a bold and decisive monetary reform. On January 1, 2005, a new currency was introduced, the Yeni Türk Lirası, or the New Turkish Lira. This redenomination was a massive logistical undertaking but a brilliant success. The government simply lopped 6 zeros off the old currency. One new lira was made equal to 1 million old lira. This single act restored a sense of normalcy and practicality to the currency. Suddenly, a loaf of bread cost a sensible amount, not hundreds of thousands of lira. The reform was accompanied by the introduction of a brand new series of coins and banknotes. These new coins were modern in their design and composition, using bimetallic features for the higher values, much like the euro coins, which had been recently introduced. The designs of the new coins were chosen to celebrate Turkey's rich cultural and scientific heritage. While all the coins featured a portrait of Mustafa Kemal Atatürk on one side, continuing the tradition of the Republic, the reverse sides showcased a variety of important symbols. These designs included the crescent and star from the Turkish flag, intricate patterns from Seljuk and Ottoman art, and a depiction of the Rumi motif celebrating the famous poet and philosopher. The choice of designs was a deliberate effort to present Turkey as a country that was both modern and deeply connected to its historical roots. It was a celebration of a continuous, rich Anatolian civilization. After a few years, the new, or yeni, was officially dropped from the name, and the currency became the Turkish lira once again on January 1, 2009. The coin designs were updated slightly, but they maintained the same spirit. Today, Turkey continues to modernize its coinage. This includes issuing special commemorative coins to mark significant events, anniversaries, or to honor important figures and landmarks. These coins are not just for circulation, they are miniature memorials that celebrate Turkish history, culture, and achievements, from the opening of a new bridge to celebrating ancient archaeological sites, telling the nation's ongoing story in metal. Beyond the coins we use every day for our shopping, there is another special category of coinage: commemorative coins. These are like medals of honor, minted to celebrate a specific moment in time, a great achievement, or a person of national importance. The Turkish state mint has a rich tradition of producing these beautiful and meaningful coins, which serve as a vibrant metallic scrapbook of the nation's history and culture. They are designed for collectors and for anyone who wants to hold a piece of history that marks a special occasion. These coins tell the stories that a country wants to remember and share with the world. The subjects chosen for Turkish commemorative coins are incredibly diverse, reflecting the vast scope of the nation's heritage. Many coins celebrate key historical anniversaries, such as the founding of the Republic or significant military victories. Others honor the great figures who have shaped Turkey, from sultans and scientists of the past to artists and writers of the modern era. For example, you might find a coin celebrating the 100th anniversary of the Grand National Assembly, or one honoring the great Ottoman architect Mimar Sinan. Each one is a carefully crafted tribute, designed to educate and inspire pride in the country's rich legacy. These special coins are also used to showcase Turkey's incredible natural beauty and its world-renowned archaeological treasures. There are series of coins dedicated to the endemic flowers of Anatolia or the endangered animal species of the region. You can find coins that feature stunning images of famous sites like Göbekli Tepe, the world's oldest temple, or the ancient city of Troy. By putting these landmarks on coins, Turkey highlights their global importance, and encourages both its own citizens and visitors to appreciate and protect this precious heritage. It's a wonderful way to turn currency into a platform for cultural and environmental awareness. Commemorative coins are often works of art in their own right. They are typically minted in higher quality metals like sterling silver or even gold, and often feature more intricate and artistic designs than circulating coins. Some even incorporate color, making them particularly striking and visually appealing. For collectors or numismatists, these coins are highly sought after, but their importance goes beyond the world of collecting. They are a way for the nation to have a conversation with itself about what it values and what it wants to be remembered for, creating a lasting and beautiful record of its journey through time for generations to come. As we have seen, the story of Turkish coins is a journey through nearly 3,000 years of history. It is a tale that begins with a revolutionary Lydian idea and unfolds through the grand empires of the Seljuks and Ottomans, culminating in the modern dynamic currency of the Republic of Turkey. Each coin, from the first electrum bean to the modern bimetallic lira, is a witness to its time. It tells us about the economy, the art, the religion, and the politics of the people who made and used it. To study these coins is to read a history of Anatolia written in gold, silver, and bronze. What makes the history of Turkish coinage so unique is its incredible continuity and its diversity. This land has been a crossroads of civilizations, and its money reflects this rich tapestry of cultures. We see the transition from the pagan symbols of Lydia to the elegant Islamic calligraphy of the Seljuks and Ottomans, and finally to the secular, national symbols of the Republic. The shift from the Tugra of the Sultan to the portrait of Ataturk is one of the most powerful stories of transformation ever told on a piece of metal. It encapsulates the journey from a multi-ethnic empire to a modern nation-state. Today's Turkish coins are the latest chapter in this long and fascinating story. The modern Turkish lira and its smaller Kuruz denominations are familiar to millions of people. On one side, they carry the unifying image of Ataturk, linking them to the founding principles of the Republic. On the other, they display symbols that celebrate Turkey's deep and varied cultural heritage, from its art to its language. They are practical, well-designed, and reflect a country that is proud of its past and confident about its future. They are the direct descendants of a monetary tradition that is among the oldest and richest in the world. So the next time you find a Turkish coin in your pocket, take a moment to look at it closely. It is not just a simple piece of money, it is a legacy. It is a piece of art. It is a political statement. It is a tiny, durable history book that has passed through countless hands and has 1,000 tales to tell. It connects you to the ancient Lydian merchants, the powerful Ottoman sultans, and the visionary founders of the modern republic. The coins of Turkey are a testament to the resilience, creativity, and enduring spirit of the people who have called this remarkable land their home.